Bloody Mary. There are places in this world where the dead do not rest. There are names that hold power, names that should never be spoken. And yet, some people still dare to whisper one. Bloody Mary. It's a simple ritual, a childhood dare. Stand alone in the dark, a mirror in front of you, the air thick with silence. You whisper her name 3 times. At first nothing happens, you laugh it off. But then, the temperature drops. The air feels heavy, like something unseen is pressing against your chest. And then you see it. A flicker in the glass, a shadow moving where nothing should, and then her. Some say she was a witch, burned at the stake, her spirit forever seeking revenge. Others claim she was a woman buried alive, her screams ignored until they faded into the earth. And some whisper that she was a queen, drowned in blood, cursed to wander between worlds. But no matter which story you believe, one thing is certain, she is filled with rage. Bloody Mary doesn't just appear, she hunts. Those who see her face never forget it, twisted, rotting, her empty eyes staring straight through them. Some say she only watches, her lips curling into a smile that doesn't belong on something human. Some say she reaches through the glass, dragging victims into her world, leaving nothing behind but a shattered mirror and a lingering whisper of their final scream. Others claim she appears behind you, her breath cold on your neck, her fingers brushing your skin just before the lights flicker back on. There are those who've played the game and laughed it off, but there are others, those who won't talk about what they saw, the ones who won't go near mirrors anymore, the ones who wake up at night to find their reflection, smiling when they are not. The unlucky ones hear her voice in the dead of night, calling to them, whispering their name, daring them to look again. Mirrors are not just glass, they are doors, and some doors should never be opened. So if you stand in front of a mirror and call her name, don't look away, and whatever you do, don't turn your back. The Mothman, harbinger of doom. Some creatures lurk in the dark, unseen. Others make sure you see them just before disaster strikes. And if you ever find yourself in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, you might just come face to face with the Mothman. It started in November 1966, a quiet rural town where nothing ever really happened until the night the gravediggers saw it. A figure, massive and winged, rising from the trees, watching them with glowing red eyes. 3 days later, 2 young couples were driving near an abandoned TNT factory on the edge of town. That's when they saw it. 7 feet tall, with white, leathery wings, and eyes that burned like embers in the night. Then it moved. The car screeched forward, the driver pressing the gas pedal to the floor, heart pounding. But no matter how fast they went, the creature kept up, gliding effortlessly, its glowing eyes locked onto them. Even at 100 miles per hour, it never fell behind. When they finally reached the city limits, it was gone. But the fear had only just begun. More people started seeing the Mothman. Strange lights danced in the sky. Electrical appliances flickered and died. Phone calls came through with nothing but static. Or worse, a deep, mechanical voice whispering warnings no one could understand. And then on December 15th, 1967, the town was silenced. It was just after sunset when the Silver Bridge, packed with holiday shoppers, groaned and twisted before collapsing into the freezing river below. Cars plunged into the water. 46 lives were lost. And just like that, the Mothman was gone. Some say he was a warning, a specter of doom. Others believe he caused the disaster himself. But the Mothman didn't just vanish. He's been seen before other tragedies. The Chernobyl meltdown, the 9/11 attacks, even the 2007 Minneapolis bridge collapse. Wherever death is near, his red eyes appear in the shadows. Maybe he's watching right now. If you ever see the Mothman, don't run. It won't matter. He's already seen you. The legend of Slender Man. There are things in the dark that shouldn't exist. Shapes that don't make sense. Shadows that move when they shouldn't. And if you ever see him, it's already too late. The legend of Slender Man isn't ancient folklore. It didn't come from whispered campfire stories. It was born in 2009, just an image on the internet. A tall, faceless figure lurking in the background of old photographs. But something was wrong. People didn't just see the picture, they felt it. Something watching, something waiting. And then the sightings began. Slender Man is impossibly tall, 8-10 feet. His body stretched beyond human proportions, his limbs too long, his fingers sharp and unnatural. A black suit drapes over his thin frame, making him almost blend into the night. And then there's his face, or rather the absence of one. No eyes, no mouth, no features at all, just blank, empty. They say he appears in the woods, standing motionless at the tree line, watching. He doesn't chase you. He doesn't have to. The longer you see him, the more he seeps into you, into your mind, into your thoughts, into your dreams. You start losing time, blackouts, waking up somewhere else with no idea how you got there. Then the whispers start. Static hissing through your phone, flickering lights, that feeling deep in your gut that you're being watched even when you're alone. You try to ignore it, try to shake the unease, but every time you look outside, he's closer. Slender Man doesn't kill. Not in the way you think. People who see him don't run. They follow. Children wander into the trees, never seen again. Adults wake up standing in their backyard, staring at the forest, unable to remember what they were dreaming about. And sometimes the ones who see him don't just vanish. Sometimes they change. In 2014, 2 young girls in Wisconsin lured their friend into the woods and stabbed her 19 times. They said Slender Man told them to. They said they had to do it, to prove their loyalty. They believed he was real. They believed he was watching. Maybe he still is. If you feel eyes on you when no one's there, if the shadows stretch just a little too far, if you see something impossibly tall just beyond the trees, don't run. It won't matter. He's already inside your head.